Hello and welcome back to the New View. So, in the last episode, we asked the big question: Are Jews controlling the media? So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about the U.S. withdrawing all troops from Afghanistan. So today we have Jukebox on. So hey, Jukebox, what's up?
I'm doing pretty alright, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's see. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Basically, yeah. That's the topic. For today. Oh yeah, and you've actually been on an episode before, so welcome back. It's great to have you back again.
Thank you very much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the one was about diversity. That was the one.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I'd say that was a good episode. It's definitely diversity's a very important topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, about basically a little bit about this topic. Which, by the way, it's pretty new topic actually, because so we just found out today that Joe Biden is planning on withdrawing all troops. Yes, I said it, all troops from Afghanistan on September 11th, which, as you know, is the day of, we all know what 9/11 is. But yeah, so that would be marking 20 years of conflict between the U.S. and Afghanistan. And so this decision, it does conflict with the Trump administration's decision to withdraw all these troops from Afghanistan by May 1st. So, it's kind of something to think about. What are your thoughts on this so far? Just first impressions.
Well, I've got a few things in mind. The first one I've got is the military side of it. I'm not sure if it's possible that a lot of people will lose their jobs in the military because of those that are fighting against Afghanistan.
You're saying it is possible or it's not possible?
I'm saying it might be possible.
Yeah, for sure. It might be possible. It's probably likely.
Like jobs. Another thing is maybe something probably around finances, but I'm not really entirely sure.
Well, what specifically in finances?
Like if people are gonna lose jobs in the military, you'll probably definitely have finances being taken away from that. So you're losing finances.
Yeah, the military spending will likely be cut. Actually, it will be cut due to this. Because you wouldn't need to do anything since you're not doing anything since you're bringing troops home.
And another thing that popped into my mind was that yes, it will may resolve some conflict, but is it still going to end hate towards Muslims or people born in Afghanistan? Is that going to still stop the hate? Because to this day, people still hate on them.
Well, I wouldn't say it'll stop hate completely. But I'd say it's definitely a step in the right direction. Because most of the reason why mostly people in the U.S. Hate Muslims is basically just because the government and media told them to. Because Muslims are perceived as the enemy, according to the United States military and the news and the government just overall. Oh yeah, and Christians.
I mean, I wouldn't say that all of them are terrorists. It's just how the media portrays them that way. Which is pretty terrible. Because when you have like an incident like that, you're a whole group of collectives are just painted in a really negative light.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah, the media basically does portray Muslims as terrorists, and yeah, so does the government basically. Yeah, it's definitely wrong to consider someone a terrorist just because they're a part of a religion. It's for sure Islamophobic.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like Islamophobic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that also like starts kind of similar to when you had the COVID-19. Since then there has been a little rise of Asian hate crimes, because there's
for sure.
A rise of a group hatred towards a specific collective minority group.
Yeah, that is true. There has been a lot of anti-Chinese propaganda lately. And this has led to a lot of just hatred and violence against Asian people in general, including an attack that happened, I'm pretty sure it was almost a month ago. I'd say a month minus 3 days ago. I think that makes around 26, 27 days. But yeah, 10 people died from that attack. I almost went to a protest against violence against Asians. But yeah, I didn't go because just stuff didn't work out. I mean, I wanted to go, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still against Asian hatred, and I'm just against hatred in general. And
you should also be against Islamophobia as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm against Islamophobia as well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's when 9/11 happened, I was barely one. In that timeline, I would have been 9 months old. I would have been a 9-month-old baby. I don't remember seeing on TV, but I kind of do. I remember seeing documentaries of it growing up. But that definitely, when that happened, Islamophobia began, and it's still a thing today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the government. So yeah, here's the thing about 9/11. The government and the news basically made it sound worse than it actually is. And that's what they do. The more the news covers something, the worse it's gonna sound to someone. Because 9/11 was still bad. Don't get me wrong, but look at the war in Afghanistan. That has killed so many more people. Yet the news rarely talks about it. Everyone is so emotionally. Everyone's so emotionally attached to 9/11. Wait, what's that?
What about the war in Siberia? Well, that's been going on since 1948, and it's still going on.
Yeah, it's insane. Some wars have been going on just a ridiculously long time. The
Yeah,
U.S. really has been occupying most of the Middle East, not even just Afghanistan, like
yeah.
Iraq, Yemen, Syria. Like it's a pretty fucked situation. The Middle East is currently experiencing a lot of imperialist, fascist U.S. oppression at the moment. Um,
Did,
I,
did 9/11 happen after you were born? Were you born after 9/11 or
oh
before it
no,
happened?
I was alive during 9/11. I don't
How old were
remember it though.
you?
I think I was, let's see. Um, well, technically I was one, but my birthday is shortly after 9/11. I'm not going to say the exact date. I'm not going to reveal when my birthday is, but yeah, let's just say it's shortly after 9/11. Um, but yeah, so
So you would have
I
been
was
almost one.
basically 2 years old.
Yeah,
Um,
I was like you said, I was about around like 8 months.
yeah, so we don't remember 9/11 at
I would
all.
have no, sorry, not 8 and 9 months old. I would have been 8 months old, around nearly 9 months old
Oh, okay.
when it happened. I would have been a little bub. Wouldn't remember.
Gotcha.
I mean, yeah, it was on the news, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I remember I was in the I mean, no, I don't remember. I mean, I was in the room when it came on the news, but I don't remember a single thing of it. Um, like of course um, there's still post 9/11 drama. Like I mean, like people get emotional about it still every year here. Except funny thing, last year, it seemed like people weren't even emotional about it. It's like everyone was celebrating 9/11 because I remember I decided to hang out with my friends and yeah, we were basically just driving around and we came across this 9/11 parade. I shit you not, a 9/11 parade. And yeah, there were people just like in American pro patriotic attire. People had some crazy outfits on. People were drinking beers, just gathering in the streets and basically just celebrating. It was crazy. Um, and then yeah, later that night there was actually a fireworks show. I could literally see from my window, and I thought it
Yeah,
was hilarious. Like I was like, holy shit, people are celebrating 9/11. What the fuck is going on? Um, which
I think that's pretty much wrong because a lot of people died,
I mean, like, it's messed up for sure. Like, I mean, but I just think it's
and
hilarious.
people.
I think it's hilarious, honestly, just because it just points out the hypocrisy of just American nationalism.
That
Because
actually reminds me of like when there was a time these white men, straight white men decided to have a straight pride parade as a like a tinfoil as like an LGBTQ parade. So hilarious.
well, yeah, yeah, I guess that sounds kind of funny. Um, but yeah,
But
like
yeah,
American nationalism, like it's hilarious because like which is it? Like I can now officially just ask people, okay, so is 9/11 a joke to you guys? Like I thought, like what happened to you guys? Uh, like basically, hold on, how do I phrase this? Um, yeah, what happened to you guys? Basically being fuck. Sorry, I'm kind of zoning out a little bit. I'm gonna try to refocus. Yeah, basically. Actually, I'll put it in a different way. Um, Basically, what happened to all these patriots being sensitive about 9/11? Now they treat it as a celebration. Like, holy shit, like it's crazy. Um, and yeah, I mean, like, it's very hypocritical because like, the reason why they were mourning over 9/11 originally, back when it was closer to when it happened, was because people died. Now they're cheering because people died. So yeah, it's just complete hypocrisy. And it's just idiocy overall. I mean, I still celebrated. I got pretty lit that night. I mean, I didn't celebrate 9/11, but I just had a good day that day because, one, I don't give two fucks about 9/11. I mean, and I mean, of course, it's sad that people died, but again, more people died in the war. But yeah, I really think 9/11, people just make way too big a deal out of it. And two, I'm not gonna let some event that happened 20 years ago just affect me. I'm not gonna let it affect me at all. I can still have a great day even if it's the 20th anniversary of some towers falling.
I mean, a lot, not just lives were lost, a lot of families lost loved ones as well, and
yeah, I know,
think it's
and that's sad.
to celebrate the someone dying.
Yeah, for sure.
Really...
It's kind of messed up in a way, but I mean, hey, that's America for you. That's what people do nowadays. Just celebration of death. I mean, it kind of makes sense because I mean, tons of Americans celebrate Memorial Day, which is basically a day where just a day of acknowledgement of American military deaths, and people celebrate that. People get drunk and have barbecues and stuff on this day, which it is pretty. It's pretty fucking wild. You can basically say that America, it's one fucked up country. I mean, America just glorifies death just in so many ways. It's kind of hilarious, but at the same time, fucked up. I just try to look at it through the hilarious side, though. I mean, of course, I'm gonna point out how fucked up it is, but it. I'm just gonna try to have a good laugh about it. Especially 9/11. 9/11's just become one big joke at this point.
Well, what do you think of conspiracy theories surrounding 9/11? Are you against it, or are you?
All right, so my thoughts on the conspiracy theories of 9/11. I will say they're interesting. I've looked into them a little bit. It's not really something I'm too obsessed about. 9/11, being an inside job, all that shit. Bush doing 9/11. I do think it's definitely possible. I mean, I'm not saying that's what actually did happen, but it would make sense, if Bush or the government did 9/11 itself, because, if it was planned and shit, because it would be a justification for, all this NSA and, privacy and freedom violations, if you're going to an airport or a concert, you'll have the TSA just constantly inspecting you. It's a human rights violation, and it's extremely invasive, and in many cases, it's sexual assault, and it's under the justification of catching terrorists. So it's essentially the government just becoming more and more authoritarian, and it would make complete sense if 9/11 was just planned by the government as a justification for more government power. Um, uh,
In personal opinion, would you say yes or no to about that sort of conspiracy?
I would say probably no. Um, I have looked into it a little bit, but just all the evidence, just kind of aligns with, you know, to, not two, but like multiple terrorists being in those planes. Um, so I think I'm gonna have to disagree with that conspiracy theory, but I'm not dismissing it though, like completely. I'd say for the most part I'm undecided. Even if it really actually was planned, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be surprised because it makes sense. But I'd say I'm more leaning towards it was probably actually terrorists.
I 100% agree with you on that.
Well, cool. Um, yeah, it actually is a pretty interesting conspiracy theory. Um,
True. Um, what about the military that's fighting? What do you think of like them being taken away? Do you think that will still resolve conflict, or do you think that will still continue on like hate towards Islamophobia?
well, there will definitely still be Islamophobia, at least for a while. Um, I'd say it'll definitely be a good step in the right direction, though, because as you know, the U.S. will be withdrawing troops from Afghanistan. So that would be a political statement of saying, "Hey, we're kind of backing off uh, from these Muslim countries. Maybe it's time we chill out about the whole Muslim hating thing." Uh, so yeah, basically, I do think we're like all this is a healing process. Um, I'd say overall the world is getting better. In many aspects, I'd say we're on a path to healing. Just in many ways. So we still have a lot of work to do. Like we still have to withdraw the troops from all those other countries that the U.S. is currently fighting the war in. But overall, I'd say we're on a healing process as a collective, and I think it's a good thing.
So what other countries are you referring to?
I'm referring to countries like Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. The U.S. is currently still involved in those wars in the Middle East.
Do you think those will also withdraw sooner, or do you think that would be something that's not going to happen, or would be something later down the track?
I'd say it would probably take a while, but I can see the U.S. withdrawing from those countries in the near future. I'd say it's probably gonna start with Afghanistan though. Um, so I'm just gonna try to be as patient as possible, but at the same time, I'm really gonna keep an eye out for what's gonna happen. Which brings me to one concern I have about this news actually. So I'd say basically this is good news that Biden wants to withdraw troops from Afghanistan, but at the same time, like this does bring up a red flag, because the Trump administration was actually planning on withdrawing troops from Afghanistan by May 1st. So what Joe Biden is doing is pushing back the date 4 months. um, which just makes you think, hey, what the hell? Why does he want troops in Afghanistan 4 months longer than Trump does? Is Joe Biden more pro-war than Trump? Does Joe Biden want war for longer? Is Joe Biden planning some sort of conflict with the Middle East that would be a justification for more troops in the Middle East? Is Joe Biden buying more time for something? Like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, I'd say that's my main concern from his decision.
Yeah.
I,
I think another thing that I just had in mind was that I find it an odd choice that he would do it by the day of the Twin Tower attack. I find that really odd. I feel like that sort of thing would lead to opening up a whole of a potential conspiracy theory waiting to be announced, or something that that's just like a wormhole of a conspiracy theory waiting to be like thrown around.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, people are gonna start saying that that 9/11 is just the first step to the globalist new world order or some shit. They're gonna say that that 9/11 20 years ago was the start of it, and that the finish of it, and that basically the transition to phase 2 would be exactly 20 years later on September 11th. That's when the whole new world order, globalist, satanic, communist, pedophile elite will be officially unleashed. They're really gonna start saying stuff like that pretty soon.
That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, it feels like it's opening a wormhole of that sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree. It does, which is why I'd say Joe Biden really should have just stuck with Trump's plan of just withdrawing troops by May 1st, because I mean May 1st would actually be a really great day too. Because as you know, that's International Labor Day, aka May Day. So that would mean troops, that would be, first of all, their first day off from, killing a bunch of people. And yeah, that would be a huge relief also for the Middle East, for just having just all of that oppression just being lifted off of them. Well, at least in Afghanistan, for starters. But yeah. Joe Biden, really, I'd say the reason why he's trying to push it to 9/11 is, I'd say, first of all, he really just wants credit for this. I mean, like, I get that he hates Trump. I mean, I fucking hate Trump. But he's
I'm
really...
glad he's impeached that.
He's been impeached 3 times at this point. And I'm glad he's just completely out of office. Trump was the worst president, and he's the worst person on this earth. Fuck Trump. I'm just glad he's gone.
I mean, Biden's not as good not good either, but like Trump's like the worst, but Biden's no better anyways. But at least he's slightly better.
I'd say Trump is 100 times worse than Biden, but I'd still say Biden is a very dangerous president. I'm not gonna say he's better, because that would make Joe Biden sound good. Joe Biden's still a monster.
You could just say he's not as bad as Trump.
Yeah, he's not as bad as Trump. He's less shit than Trump. But yeah, I'd say the main reason why Joe Biden is doing this is really just to steal credit from Trump. Because, I mean, that's basically most of his political goals, to undo everything Trump does, which, I mean, for the most part, I'm fine with that. But, I mean, he's kind of using this as an excuse to just gain power and fame. He's basically like, oh, So Trump's gonna bring troops out of Afghanistan. Oh no, I'm gonna bring troops out of Afghanistan, and it's gonna be a later day, so I'll be doing it, so I get the credit. Joe Biden, he's just a fucking narcissist. He's just doing all this shit just to give himself credit.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. Like, he's trying to reverse what Trump did, and he's like trying to play the heroic card. That's
Yeah. And I'd say another reason why he's doing it is because he wants, like, I think he wants it to be, like, the conflict between the U.S. and the Middle East to be exactly 20 years, just because when people say it, it just sounds more, it just sounds more, firm, as in, like, oh, hey, this conflict in Afghanistan lasted for exactly 20 years. That is insane. I think Joe Biden is really just trying to have it on that exact date just to get more attention, really.
yeah. And like I said, again, it was like that the red flag I was concerned about was like that would open up a conspiracy. But then again, what was I going to say? Until we get to 2022 and 2023, we'll have to see what Biden can truly do for the country.
Well, he's already been doing a lot of stuff. Well, I say a lot of stuff as in he's signed a lot of executive orders, and he's done a fair amount of things. I mean, he hasn't done the most things, but he's already done a fair amount. I'm pretty concerned for what he plans to do next, but for the most part, I'm not too worried. I
mean, what I'm saying is
right
that,
now I'm
like,
just keeping my guard up.
Yeah, like when you see what will happen in like the next year or the year after, or in 2024, we'll see there might be a rise into something that we don't know about. Because
Oh, really?
at this point, we don't know we never know. We don't know what's gonna happen.
What kind of rise do you think will happen in the next few years, if you had to guess?
You remember when Trump was hated a lot because of a lot of indecisions that were agreeable?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that something may happen in 2022 or 2023, depending on what it is. Could be something that may destroy the country. It could be for better. It could be for worse. We don't know.
That sounds pretty interesting. I would say right now, if I had to guess, I'd say right now there's a rise of the people. I'd say right now a great awakening is occurring. Right now it's basically just a rise against the government and corporations, just all that stuff. It's basically just against coronavirus tyranny. I'd say overall, try not to have too many expectations, but I'd say, just expect the world to be a lot freer, within about a year or two, or just within the next few years in general.
I would say around 2022, 2023, there'll most likely be I wouldn't say cultural shift, but more social, cultural shift.
What kind of
There'll be
cultural
like-
shift?
More of a social shift.
All right.
Like, yeah.
What kind?
I'd say COVID's over, right? And then we question
Yeah.
what's next, and then we don't know what will happen next. But I feel like there will be a big event that will shift after the COVID.
Hmm. Funny how you come to that conclusion. You're almost making it sound like this event would be planned by some sort of group.
Not what I'm trying to say.
Oh wait, that's not what you're trying to say?
No, it's more like okay, okay, in the early parts of a decade, you would have like, okay, it's fine, but then when you start moving into like, say, 2023, that's when the dynamic of society and ideology ideology starts changing.
So you're saying this is happening on a decade by decade basis.
Something like that, but like year by year, you have something. Yeah, like the early parts of the decade, the middle parts of the decade, and then like
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. The first, like those parts of a decade, they all definitely have a certain. They all have defining characteristics of them, and significant events. There's no doubt that the early 20s are basically about uh, basically the coronavirus and the government enforcing fascist coronavirus restrictions. I mean, I'd say that's going to change pretty soon, though. And I mean, it's technically changing right now. I mean, it like if you've been looking all over the news, there's actually been a huge rise in protests of people standing up to fascist coronavirus restrictions. Like a few days ago, there was actually a huge I'd say it was about 500,000 people in Florida, USA, um, and they were all not wearing masks, and they were standing up to just mask and vaccine tyranny, and they were even burning masks. And in Canada, a day ago, actually, there was this huge riot against against this coronavirus curfew, this 8 p.m. curfew. So people have really had it with all this coronavirus fascism, and they're really starting to stand up. And that's what I'd say the Great Awakening is.
yeah. I think there's also around 2019, early 2020, there was the Yellow Jacket protest. I think it was in France. I think.
Oh, those! Ah, I remember those. Oh boy, I remember back when. Oh man, you're taking me back to when like protests were over like way smaller stuff. That takes me back to my early protesting days. I remember now that you bring that up. So so here's a bit of a funny story. I was actually at a protest in early 2020. Uh, it was an anti-war protest because Trump Trump assassinated Qasem Soleimani, so everyone was basically worried about World War III breaking out. So I went to a few anti-war protests, and so I actually did meet a yellow jacket there. Um, well, I think let's see, I think they're called the yellow vests actually. Um, which is hilarious because like this person was in America, and it was just one yellow vest, and yeah, this dude was actually pretty cool, and he talked about basically this subsection of yellow vests just kind of in my area, which I thought was fascinating. And this dude seemed a bit more rebellious than most of the protesters. Like this cop stopped him from putting something somewhere, like something on a statue. Like I was like, damn, this dude's rebellious. Oh man, yeah, all this yellow vest stuff takes me back, and I remember like when I was working like at my job back in like 2019. I even like back when I was uh like basically I just said to a customer as a joke who was yelling like a yellow vest. I was just like, "Viva la revolucion," and they were like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, I basically said that because like they were wearing yellow vests, but oh man, I remember all those protests. Those were great.
I mean, do you think World War III will happen at some? Is
I,
that
uh,
I think especially greater.
that is a pretty big question. I will say, if I had to predict, I'd say World War III will not happen. Um, and I'd say that for a few reasons. First of all, so World War I and World War II, they kind of happen like World War II happened basically because of the outcomes of World War I, and there's been a lot of time in between World War II and now. So I'd say that reason alone is enough to say that it's not likely for there to be a World War III. And also, another reason I'd say overall this world, I can see this world becoming a beautiful place pretty soon. Um, and uh, I like war seems to be dying down. I mean, war's going on right now, don't get me wrong, but it seems to kind of be dying down. I mean, like literally we just found out today uh that Joe Biden plans on withdrawing troops from Afghanistan,
Ah,
and I'd say,
now.
huh?
Now that sounds exactly like the year 2030.
20 the 2030 what?
The 2030 agenda by the UN.
What's this 2030 agenda? Because I don't think I've heard of it.
Well, it's basically then like you end world hunger, you economically equal, but a lot of conspiracy again.
Sorry, you were kind of cutting off a bit. Are you saying are you talking about like economic equality or something?
Yeah, it's like just like different rules that they want to achieve by 2030.
Wait, are you talking about like the Great Reset?
Something like that, or like, yeah.
I'd say so. Here are my thoughts on the Great Reset. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. I don't think there's gonna actually be a Great Reset. I think it's mostly just a bunch of just crazy people in a conference just saying, "Oh, this is what economics is gonna look like in the future," and then, as you know, it's all very invasive and very app based. All that shit. I think it's all a bunch of nonsense. Just like that, a few people heard from that conference and then just started spreading the rumor. Um, I don't fucking buy it. I don't think any Great Reset is gonna happen. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
you could say that's a conspiracy theory. Like, I don't know if you count that as it. It's just kind of a rumor going around. I'd say I wouldn't even call it a conspiracy theory, but I'd say it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, true. What else?
I'd say we're having a
Yeah.
great awakening rather than a great reset.
Yeah, I think with the Great Awakening, Great Awakening that would lead to a revolution.
Well, the Great Awakening, in a way, is the revolution. And
A revolution.
a revolution. Well, I'd say this will probably be, the greatest revolution in history, because, it'd be worldwide. I mean, it is worldwide right now. I mean, you see these protests going around all over the world.
Like global.
Yeah, global. It's only, and they're only going to be getting bigger, because, I mean, you hear about them more and more, every day. Like, you see them everywhere, and the media, like, they happen so often that the media can't even deny it anymore. They're happening, and yeah, there's no sign of them slowing down. Like, I mean, there's just so much going on in the world right now, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I'd say it's crazy in a good way, because that means things are going to get better, because people are actually finally demanding for their freedom, and I think it's a miracle. I'm glad people are demanding for their freedom, because that's how we're going to get it. We just need to make sure governments are afraid of us. We just need to take back our freedom.
Yeah. Another thing that was regarding to the Afghanistan and the US pulled out of it. Do you think that, yes, while it will bring it's a step in the right direction towards peace, do you think that it could cause a problem with unemployment of the military losing money or people being unemployed?
Well, that's a good question. I do think a fair amount of people in the military are going to lose their jobs. But at the same time, not a significant amount, because so the way the U.S. military works is basically you have a contract and you're basically in the military for this many years. If you're not being deployed, basically you're doing other stuff, and like you check in at bases and stuff and just do stuff there, and you'll still receive compensation for it. So technically they'd still be considered employed. At least most of them will be. I mean, like, as for the people who will lose their jobs, like, I'd say good. I don't want people to kill people for their jobs. I think that's horrible. Yeah, hopefully they find some other way to make money.
I mean, I'm not sure. They might be serving in other countries. Oh.
Wait, what do you mean? How? Well, like, how would someone be in two militaries at once?
No. What I mean is, like, if the US are pulled out from Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
Those US militaries could serve in other countries.
Well, okay, first of all, you say serve as in it's a good thing. It's not really, you're not really serving anyone by killing people. And second of all, just because you withdraw, like, from a country doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna deploy in another country. I mean, wait, are you talking about, like, individual, like, people, like the people who are withdrawn from Afghanistan, just being deployed in other countries, or are you saying that the U.S. overall is just going to put more focus into other countries?
A little bit of both.
All right. Well, that's not really going to happen. It's not like there are any plans to put more troops into these other countries at all. Um, the Really the only plan is really just to bring these troops home. It. It just makes logical sense.
They just bring them home family. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, really, all this is just going to bring less war, which is a good thing. So
I see your point now. I see your point now.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm really glad this is happening, but I'm not going to take it as pure good news because of the date pushback by 4 months. I'm still upset about that, but I'll take it as good news.
Do you think the military as a whole should be an abolished concept, or do you think there's things that can be good to serve to serve the otherwise?
Sorry, you were kind of cutting off a bit. Can you repeat that?
No, I'm saying that. Do you think the military should be abolished altogether, or should they be still around and serve the country in other ways besides war?
I'd say it should be abolished completely. The military is just a giant killing machine. Its purpose is, well, to put it simply, kill people and to fight war. And I'd say war is unnecessary, and the military just brings a lot of just violence, conflict, and just hatred for humanity. There's really no need for a military whatsoever.
What about the Navy or Air Force?
Yes, they should absolutely be abolished. I'd say every single branch of the military, every single troop, every single base in the military should be completely gone. All nukes should be disarmed completely.
Like
It should
around the
all just be
world, or
gone.
just US alone?
I definitely think the U.S. Should be the first to be abolished because it's the most dangerous, but definitely all around the world there should be no military at all. It's completely unnecessary. We don't need war in the world.
I completely agree with you. You've changed my view.
Well, I'm really glad I have.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Oh, what about around the financial side of things? Do you think that could, if like they're pulled out, that military will collapse and go bankrupt?
Well, it depends how much they pull out. Are you talking about just them pulling out of Afghanistan specifically? Or are you suggesting some other pullouts would do that?
If it was by Afghanistan first, they might lose a little bit of money. But if it's other countries, then maybe I think that would probably fall more into bankruptcy.
Well, here's the thing about the military spending. The military is basically given an allowance by the government. I mean, it's likely that the spending will be decreased because you wouldn't be using the military for anything if you were withdrawing from these countries. So it makes sense that they would that the military would definitely lose a lot of funding. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen, though, but I can see it definitely going in that direction. I do see the military losing its funding.
Yeah, costs being cut and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say most likely that's going to happen. And especially if the U.S. plans on withdrawing from other countries, which I hope that happens as well.
I think that would also decrease the level. I wouldn't say it would necessarily decrease But I would say there'll probably be a bit of a decrease into like PTSD and other mental disorders.
Oh yeah, for sure. War really just causes it causes so much just trauma, pain, and suffering. War takes so many lives away from this planet. It's really sad. And
But I'm
it
not
causes
saying that it will erase it completely. There will still be, you have like PTSD, there still have people with trauma. It's not just war.
yeah,
I'm just saying
yeah,
there could be
PTSD.
like
It's not purely a war thing, but it's certainly a main cause of PTSD. So I'd say that would be
one of them.
well, yeah, one of them. It of course it depends on the situation, but war is definitely a huge cause of PTSD, and yeah, if war were to be completely gone from this earth, PTSD would go down a lot because you wouldn't have those horrifying memories of being instructed to kill people, getting blown up, raiding villages, and
Massacres,
almost dying,
invasions.
all that kind of just all that stuff. War is a horrible thing, and it's no wonder it causes PTSD.
Conflict and the war leads to violence, violence leads to death. That's just the cycle of humanity.
I wouldn't say it's a psychology of humanity. The only reason why war exists,
Cycle.
the cycle. Well, yeah, I wouldn't say that's a cycle of humanity. The only reason why war exists is because government exists. If you have hierarchical structures of power, basically they're trying to have a grab for resources and power. They're trying to become basically the global dominator. They're essentially trying to control the world. And if you're trying to control the world, and you have other governments, they're not going to allow that. So that's going to have some conflict. Therefore, war starts, whether it be over resources, power, or just overall just because they want war. War's going to happen if you have government. Government inherently leads to war. So yeah, you can't fight a war if you have no government because you'll have no military. So it's not war is not a human thing. It's very unnatural. War is a government thing.
And like you said, that you did say it was a step in the right direction, and hopefully that would most likely lead to a peace.
Oh yeah, I'd say for sure. I really do hope that this is the first step, and I do think it is the first step to peace in the Middle East and eventually peace throughout the world. The world is tired. The world is fucking sick and tired of American imperialism, war, and violence. Everyone's just sick of it.
I think that definitely also ties into people in the Middle East. You have especially in Australia, you have immigrants, you have people that are come from overseas to move to countries such as Australia because it's safer for them. But that's a whole different issue in a different topic.
Well, yeah, immigration definitely is a different topic, but it definitely ties into war.
Seekers.
The reason why these people are fleeing their countries because their country has been devastated by war. Who would want to live in a place where, there are bombs flying everywhere, there are bullets flying everywhere, there's the constant threat of just death everywhere. I mean, you wouldn't want to live there. You're definitely going to want to escape and go somewhere else. So, I mean, I think it's hilarious when Republicans say they're very anti-immigration. I mean, you guys are the ones who fucking started this. You guys are the ones who started this immigration issue because, you literally caused the war that caused all these people to immigrate. So, it's really just just don't expect people to not immigrate if you want to create hostile environments for the countries they live in.
Yeah. I would recommend watching a documentary called Go Back to Where You Came From. It's about these 6 ordinary Australians go through a journey to what an immigrant or an asylum seeker experience. And they basically have different opinions, but they go through these experiments to see if some may change their view, some might not change their view. But it's really interesting to get an insight on what people affected by war go through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I might have to give that a watch. That definitely sounds interesting. Oh, really? Well, cool. Yeah, maybe I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, war. Yeah, it's pretty sad. War causes people to become refugees. And
we call them asylum seekers.
Well, I mean, both terms are interchangeable, and they definitely apply. Asylum seekers, immigrants, refugees. Just don't call them aliens, because they're humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous when Republicans literally try to alienate refugees by literally using the term alien. It's pretty disgusting. I'm not trying to discriminate. I'm not trying to discriminate against actual aliens though, because they're out there and they're watching us. What's up, aliens?
Hi, E.T. What's up, E.T.?
What's up, aliens? Hope you aliens enjoy this podcast. It's from Earth. We're gonna maybe we'll have an episode talking about aliens or some shit. That'd be wild. But,
there is a theory that aliens are basically us in the future. I actually agree to that theory. I actually agree with that.
Well, in what aspect? Are you saying aliens are just Earthling time travelers?
Well, they're basically us from the future. Human evolution,
Well, I see what you mean. I mean, because aliens, they'd basically be, highly developed and highly evolved. I mean, we'd, in the far future, we're definitely going to get to that point where, we seem alien to, basically us now, simply because we'd be that much more advanced. We'd barely be able to recognize ourselves. Just because, I mean, that's the way time works. And, I mean, this is a whole, different topic, but, maybe you can even come on another time and discuss aliens. I don't know. I think aliens might be an interesting topic for the new view.
Yeah, we could cover that next time. Sure.
Yeah, for sure. If you'd like to, we'll definitely have to figure that out. But yeah. Yeah, I'd say like I'd say this is about an episode because it's been like a bit over an hour.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is there anything else that you had in mind about the topic of Afghanistan and the US leaving the Afghanistan?
Let's see.
The war?
Um, hmm. I guess I will say, I guess I have one or two more things to say. Uh, I do find this kind of a strange move from Joe Biden, because he is like he's a pretty big warmonger. So I'm kind of keeping my guard up for a while because Joe Biden is fairly pro-war, and even in the debates, in 2019 and 2020. He talked a lot about using fairly aggressive foreign policy tactics. So, so this all
It
is
sounds
kind
very
of concerning.
yeah. It sounds all very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I mean, like
And
I mean, I'll give like, I mean, I'm not saying I'll give Joe Biden a chance because like I already gave him two chances and he already betrayed my trust. But I will say, um, I will say we'll definitely have to wait and see if Joe Biden really actually plans on withdrawing from the Middle East on September 11th. I do think he actually will withdraw troops. Um, but you know, we'll just have to see what happens. I do.
and what was the other point that you had?
Um, let's see. Let's see. What was the other point? Um, I think that's about it. Actually. But yeah. So basically, yeah, Joe Biden he's gonna officially announce this tomorrow. Uh, so we'll definitely have to see him talk about this. And
I mean, my final thought is just the suspicion on the date. I'm really suspicious on the date.
yeah,
I
I
just
do
find it
think
really suspicious.
I do think it's not a good move to do it on September 11th. I think that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I'll take it over like 2 years. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
have it sooner than later. Like I'm still pretty pissed that he decided to push it 4 months back. But you know, at least it's happening at all. But you know, let's definitely keep a close eye out on Joe Biden because
Yeah. Keep
like
your eyes and ears peeled out.
for sure, like Joe Biden, if you fuck up, we're watching you, man. You will be held accountable. I don't fucking trust Joe
The
Biden.
people are watching, the people are waiting.
The people are watching. We are listening, and if you don't keep your promises, you will be held accountable. So that's just a warning for Joe Biden. Yeah. Um, but yeah, so basically, my final thoughts are basically I do think for the like even though I'm still pretty pissed about the date being pushed back 4 months, I do think this is a good thing overall because you know troops will be leaving in a war that departing from a war that basically seemed almost endless. I mean, the war is still going on in other Middle Eastern countries, but I will say, since it will be ending finally in Afghanistan, that this will be a good first step in just ending the conflict in the Middle East and just ending just war overall. So I'd say I'm definitely pretty happy for that. I'd say humanity definitely has is definitely entering into a great era of peace, and I'm just
Yeah.
excited and optimistic about the future.
I feel like the 2020s would be more of a decade of kindness. Because I remember in a video someone predicted it could be kindness. Like, we'll be moving into a. I feel like the 2020s will be more of a hopeful decade, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I'd say right now, like, as you know, things are pretty tense. But I'd say things are actually starting to calm down. Um, and I will say, people are tired of all this conflict. People are tired of all this war. People are tired of all this coronavirus fascism. People are just tired of all this negativity. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, 2010 was the start of the negativity, and now people just had enough of the racial division. People had enough of
yeah, for sure. Like
division.
racial division's like a huge part of this too. Like, I mean, there's literally a protest, like a Black Lives Matter protest in I think it's Michigan. No, wait, Minnesota. Literally a few hours ago. So I'd say that's even part of this Great Awakening. But yeah, I'd say people are ready for change. I'd say this world is ready for a great new change. I'd say people are ready for peace. People are ready for coming together, all races, all classes. I'd say
all genders
for sure. Just everyone. I'd say everyone is ready to come together and start building a beautiful new world. And guys, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm doing my best to build a great new world every single day. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Being kind to other people and putting your differences aside and actually just peace between the people.
Absolutely. Spread the word of peace, guys, and it will happen.
And spread kindness.
For sure. Spread peace, kindness, and remember to have fun. Don't take life too seriously. Crack some jokes, have a good time, have some good times with friends, get together and, just play music, just spread laughs, play games, just have fun.
Spread love, spread joy.
For sure. Spread the love, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we're probably gonna end it on that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I'd say that was a good episode. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely way better than the last one.
I'd say this one actually is better. Once again, thank you, Jukebox, for coming on. It was great having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, of course. That's about it, guys. Stay tuned for more episodes. There's an episode coming out every Tuesday, so yeah, just look out for that. If you have an idea, as always, leave a comment below, or if you'd like to be on an episode, just leave a comment below. That's about it, guys. See ya. Bye.